Hello everybody and welcome back down to the shop. Glad to stop by today and we sit around and talk about a subject that I guarantee you there's probably about 100,000 videos on YouTube about. But something that I've found a lot of times, people don't know what reel speed to use for a certain technique. Now, crankbait has a speed. I use a 5:3:1 Lew's speed spool on a crankbait. On a topwater, I'll use a Lew's speed spool 6:8:1. But what I want to talk about today, we are in the dog days of summer. I mean, like we got a couple of cool days this week. It's been a real rarity. Been up in the upper 90s all summer long, seemed like, here in Tennessee. And two of the most popular techniques are Texas rigging and jigs. Those are my favorite. I love those two things. If I didn't put but three rods in the boat, it would be Texas rig and jig, plain and simple. Summertime we like to use top water, but with those that's my favorite right there. So to start out with, Texas rig, of course everybody knows what Texas rig with the I usually use about a 3/8 to 3/4 tungsten weight, and you can see this one right here, buddy, has took a beating. I mean, I dragged it. I mean, there ain't a rock that ain't been over, believe me. But for a Texas rig, I'll use a 7:5:1 speed spool. Lew's speed spool is what I use. This one is a SG G1SH speed spool, and I throw it on a Falcon 7-foot medium heavy action rod. That's what I throw it on, and that's what I throw on my Texas rig. But I use a 7:5:1 because when I flip out there, it might throw in the weeds, or I might throw up against a bluff, or I might throw out in a big flat full of rock or pea gravel or whatever. 7:5:1 to me gives me the right amount of line pickup. If I get a bite, now I'll lower that rod down, but I'll get enough pickup on it with a 7:5:1 to get that lure hooked. Try to get him right at the top of the mouth. That's where it usually happens. But that lets me take up the line quicker than, say, a 5:3:1 or a 6:1 or whatever. That's what I use on a Texas rig, okay? Now, and like I said, you can watch videos about this on YouTube all day long if you want to. I mean, it's thousands of them. But this is just what I like to do, and I thought I'd pass the knowledge on to you. Another one that I like to use is, it's on the same rod, that 7-foot heavy action Falcon. Is an 8:1 Cast King. Now I did a review, an unboxing on this back in the winter when it was so cold and we were sitting out here and making videos and all. But I did it, but again, a little bit faster at a 8:1. Lets me pick up that line a whole lot quicker. Now what I'll do with this one, I'll throw a 3/8 jig, or up to about a 1/2 ounce jig, or 1/2 ounce tungsten Texas rig, just a little bit heavier weight than I would with that other one. So whenever I throw it, I want a quicker retrieve to set the hook and to get that lure back so I can make another flip. I don't want to take forever getting getting that in. But when I flip out there 20 feet or so, 25 feet, I want that back to me pretty quick. So that's what I use on that. And I usually use anywhere from 12 to 15 to 17 pound Seaguar InvizX on that one. So that's that one. Now, on my really heavy jigs, you know, 1/2 to 3 3/4 up to 1 ounce jig. Let me get this up here and I'll show you. Something like that right there. I love black and blue. That's an Arky style head, 3/4 ounce. On the 3/4 to 1 ounce, I'll throw an 8 to 1. Again, that's the Cast King that I like so well. It's light, it fits really well, and I throw it on a Falcon. Again, I love Falcon rods. I just always have. And this is a 7'6", heavy action, anywhere from 20 to 30 pound line, 3/4 to 2 ounce. 2 ounce. So you could do a Carolina rig, or you could throw, I like to throw up to about 1 ounce, not only over 1 ounce jig. But when I flip that jig into some cover, into the tree limbs, whatever, I can get it back quick, make another one. Work that jig, get it out of there, pitch again. I can get about 3 or 4 pitches to maybe using a slower pitch, slower speed reel. 8 1-to-1, heavy duty rod, and this is 20 pound Seaguar InvizX is what this is. So I use Seaguar InvizX on everything. So that's just a quick video. You know, maybe that helps somebody explain the speeds of those 3 techniques. You're flipping most of the time, you know, pitching up against something, pitching in a lay down, whatever, and that allows you to get that lure back to you so you can make another one quicker. And it also helps you take up the line before you set the hook. That's very important on both of those things. Be sure and use the right speed reel to the right technique, and you'll catch them every time. So there's a short video. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it's one of maybe 1 million videos, but maybe mine helped somebody along the way. That's what we're here for. So y'all like the channel, subscribe, like the video, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks a lot.